Question number 12. We're talking about the use of flashback. It should be noted that Across the Mongolo is completely written in flashback. First, we begin with Ngwe goes to school, and his mother does not want him to do so, even though his father had already taken the decision. And we also talk about the experience that he has in the hands of teacher Abento, making Ngwe's father to confront the teacher, raising him in his shoulder to highlight love. Second, we have Ndinkemasa, who beats Menyenka because she cuts plantain leaves near the plantains that are closer to the ancestral shrine, highlighting ancestral worship. On Ngwe's way to Besadi, there is a theft of Ngwe's money on the train, and that would have brought to the end of his journey, but Molefe tells him that he will take care of his registration, highlighting generosity. There is also the encounter between Ngwe and Monsieur Beso in Shirila's room, which makes Mr. Beso to be angry, leaving the room, threatening Ngwe to highlight conflict. In Lake God, Kwifon recalls when the water had dried up in the lake and how they had performed a human sacrifice to bring back the water, and this had led to the banishment of Kwifon from the land. Lagam also talks about the manner in which Fon Joseph had ascended to the throne through the influence of Father Leo, who had bribed kingmakers with animals such as fowls and goats, highlighting corruption. Shebonyo also remembers the old Fon, who had been a firm traditionalist, and during his reign, Father Leo used to come to the village like a thief at night. Now, Father Leo owns the palace, rules the palace in the place of the Fon, controls the Fon, and controls all decisions that are taken on the land. In A Walk in the Night, Willie Boy retrospects about how he had been kicked out of their house by a white landlord, making them to become vagabonds, and which had made him to turn to criminality. And this explains his hatred for white men. Many people do not also know where Joe had come from. He's very miserable. He lives on carcasses of fish from the sea, and he lives a life of poverty in a shack. Lastly, when Willie Boy is shot, he remembers that he had been in such a situation many times, but he had made it through. This time around, he is innocent, and he begins to feel cold all over his body as his body becomes numb, which also makes him not to recognize the images that he sees around him, leading to his death and highlighting man's inhumanity to man.